Welcome to the Reese Report. I am the mouth of North Andrew Reese, and I am back with Jose Carlos Gomes, Gilbey Santos, and Barbosa as my camera goes off again. Technical difficulties as usual, people. We are back after week one, and as usual, the NFL was insane week one. We'll talk briefly about the games as we give you our week two picks. Let's start with the records. Barbosa started off great 2-0, and then, he got passed by everybody. Gil, not bad, 10-6. Not bad, 10-6. Barbosa, 10-6, hanging in there. One game back of me and Jose at 11-5. Notable upsets were me picking Dallas and everyone else having Cleveland. Nice job, guys. Deshaun Watson, way to go. And I believe, Jose, you had a big upset as well, but that was the only difference in the picks this week. Gil smartly took Seattle and said that Denver would fall short, and they did by 6 points, so the right call by Gil there. The Colts played hard, Barbosa, but fell short by 2 with Mr. Cannonball over there to CJ Stroud. And now we get a game that I can't wait to talk about, but is sadly not going to be the same because of a certain quarterback getting injured. But let's get into the games. Let's start with the Thursday nighter, the Buffalo Bills, who found a way. They were down 17-3. They found a way. Josh Allen took over the game and scored 4 total touchdowns. They got away with a win against Arizona. Probably could have lost that game, but they snuck it out. They go to Miami, who also snuck out a win against Jacksonville after Tyreek Hill got arrested. They were down early, and of course, as usual, Trevor Lawrence blows it. They score no points in the second half. Miami comes back, gets a field goal, wins the game. Big matchup for the AFC East here. I think that the way the Jets look, these are the two teams going to be fighting for the division title, not the pathetic Jets, which we'll get to later. But let's start with Jose. Buffalo at Miami Thursday night. Who do you got?
Good game. Divisional game. It's gonna be a close one, but I'm gonna take the Bills. I think the Bills are 11-1 in the last 12 games against Miami. So Josh Allen like sort of owns them and stuff like that. So I'm gonna take the Bills on the road. They both coming off disappointing games, but I just think the Bills will pull this one off.
Gil, tough game. What do you got?
Yeah, it's a tough game, but I think I just feel like Buffalo's struggling. Um, Arizona got to them pretty good. Josh Allen did I feel like he has to do stuff by himself. And how long is that going to last? The Miami's explosive down the field with Tyreek Hill and stuff. So, and Miami's at home. I'm going to take Miami.
Mr. Barbosa, what do you got?
It is a very tough game, and Josh Allen not to go God mode for him to beat Arizona. I just think Miami's going to run the ball. They're a good running team. I think they'll keep Josh Allen off the field as much as possible. They'll score points because Buffalo's defense, as you've seen against Arizona, they're not that good. They lost key pieces. So in saying that, I'm going to take Miami at home also. I think Miami can.
I don't know if they're going to run a lot because I'm hearing that Mozart is out and Acme's out.
So,
yeah?
Yeah, I'm going to get to that right now. Raheem Mostert is out for Miami. I know this because he's on both my fantasy teams. Akane is a game-time decision. However, the Dolphins have a wealth of running backs. They also have Jeff Wilson and the rookie there, still there, who's apparently a draft pick who ran 4.3. So they can still run if they want. It just won't be a power running game, and they can still pass to the outside. I liked Miami's defense last week. I thought they were actually really, really good against Jacksonville, and because their defense was impressive, I actually like Miami in this game. The Bills were lucky to win that game last week. I'll be the first to admit it. Kyler Murray missed a lot of throws. He missed Marvin Harrison open a few times, which led to his bad stat line. I think that if Tua finds Tyreek Hill, they win the game. So I'll take the Dolphins in this one. Now let's go to Sunday. the New Orleans Saints, who were like Barbosa's shaking his head already because he picked Carolina. I think Gil picked Carolina too in the last week. Absolutely destroyed the Panthers, 47-10. It was a fantasy wonder for New Orleans players, including Alvin Kamara. They made David Carr look like Dan Marino. They go to Dallas, take on the Cowboys, who, as I said last week, if the Cowboys are serious, they have to beat the Browns. Deshaun Watson is terrible. I mean, that team is being held back by Deshaun Watson, who's an albatross of a contract. I would start Jameis Winston this week. That's how bad he was. Because at least Winston can throw the ball in the air and hope it gets caught by somebody like Joe Flacco. But it's New Orleans at Dallas. Barbosa, let's start with you. This is you think this would be an easy game, but the way New Orleans look, maybe it's not. Who do you got?
No, come on. Terrible. I thought they would at least put up a fight. My God, they're terrible.
Oh, God, they're bad.
That's the worst team in the NFL. I don't care what anybody says. Anyway, in saying that, I am going to take the Cowboys. They're at home. They have a pretty good home record in the last few years. They got everybody signed already, so they'll ball out. I'm going to take the Cowboys. New Orleans, yeah, they got a nice win against Carolina, but no, not against the Cowboys.
Yeah, I was shocked when Dallas signed Dak before the game, but it didn't lead to any complacency, and they did what they had to do to win. Gil, what do you got in this game?
Well, for me, the Saints are only going there to eat some steaks and go home. So, Dallas.
Well, they might want to run into the cheerleaders too, if they can sneak one out there, Gil. Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders or something. Jose?
Dallas will win this game. New Orleans last week played a shit Carolina team, and but this week Dallas will win a blowout.
I got Dallas. Dallas doesn't really lose at home, very much at all. So I got the Cowboys. I think it'll be a close game though. It won't be a blowout. I think it'll be a close game. Dallas tends to fall asleep during these kind of games, so I think early it'll be close. Dallas pulls away late, so I got the Cowboys. I'm not going to waste very much time on this game at all. The Las Vegas Raiders, who are very close to the worst team in the league, except for Carolina and maybe the Giants. I still think the Giants are worse than Carolina, but we'll get to them. They go to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. I got the Ravens. I'm not wasting any time on this. Guys, who do you got?
Ravens.
Gil?
Yeah, Ravens. Don't need to explain myself.
Barbosa?
Ravens, they're pissed off after that loss against KC.
Yeah, this could get ugly. This game could get ugly. Go ahead, Barbosa.
I said I feel bad for the Raiders because Baltimore's going to be pissed after losing that game.
Now, here's a fun note for people who like the upset. Gardner Minshew of the Colts went to Baltimore last year.
I thought
and won in Baltimore. So keep that in mind when you're taking the spread. Maybe it'll be a closer game.
This morning, last year he went into Baltimore with the Colts and he beat up. So, but the Colts are much better.
I don't think it's going to happen again. But
no,
yeah,
I think the Colts are.
I expect Baltimore to be a very popular survivor pick this week. So I got the Ravens.
Well, so was Cincinnati last week, and look what happened.
Actually, only 2 people in our survivor pool took Cincinnati, so everyone else is alive. So yeah, that I think people saw that coming because Cincinnati starts off slow every single year, and this year was no different. Now let's go to the G-Men, who I believe are the worst team in football. I think they're worse than Carolina. Barbosa, you said week 3 for Tommy DeVito. You should have said week 2 maybe, but they're sticking with Jones for now. But I think another bad game, he's going to be out of there, and they're going to bring somebody else in. They go to Washington to take on the Commanders. I know Gil hates the Commanders, but he might hate the G-Men more. I'm going to go to him first because I know he's going to hate making this pick. But I'm willing to bet money he's taking the Commanders in this one. Gil, who do you got?
First, before I forget, I just want to do a shout out to our boy Chris from our fantasy 1-0. Just wanted to make sure he remembers.
1-0 to you as well. Cooper Kupp went crazy and beat my ass. So congrats. Yeah. Puka misses the game and they throw the ball into him.
Yeah.
First of all,
Uh,
Chris is 0-1 because he lost to me. Just in case you want to know.
True. So shout out to Chris. Chris,
Yes,
you're also
shout out to
0-1.
Jose for smartly picking up Jordan Mason after CMC missed the game. Smart Jose. Go ahead, Gil.
Yeah, the Giants are brutal. Washington has Jalen Daniels. Out of all the quarterbacks of the rookies, he probably was the one that played the best. But I think he has enough to beat the Giants. The Giants are just in shambles. They don't know if they're going left or right. They're probably playing in the Jet Stadium for all I know. They have no idea. So
No, aren't they playing? Aren't they playing Washington?
In
they're playing in Washington.
Yeah, I know what Gil's trying to say.
I'm just trying to say they don't even know where they are. That they probably think they're in the Jet Stadium. They probably think the Jet Stadium is somewhere else. Meanwhile, it's the same
they
stadium.
didn't show up last week, Gil. So you're right. I don't think they knew where they're playing because they didn't show up at home last week. That's for sure. Jose, who do you got in this game?
It's gonna be an ugly game. It's gonna be a rushing game. I just see Washington pulling it out at home. With the new management, they want to get it kick started on the good playing at home. So I see Jaden Daniels playing another solid game. Like I said, rookie of the year, and then I got the the Redskins or Commanders, whatever they're called now.
I was very, very happy in my second fantasy to get Jaden Daniels as my quarterback. Had a very nice week along with Anthony Richardson. I've got Washington because the G-men to me are the worst team in the league, and they chose Daniel Jones over Saquon Barkley, which is why they're the worst team in the league. Barbosa, who do you got?
You know what? This is a more tougher game than you guys think. Because Daniel Jones actually plays well against the Washington Commanders.
Yeah, he played well against Minnesota too, and then it was 28-3 against Sam Darnold.
I think he's what I heard the stat is he 10-1 or 11-1 against the Commanders. Maybe. I want to pick the Commanders, but it's tough. I'm gonna pick the Commanders because they're at home. And the Giants are a disaster. Daniel Jones is getting booed at home, so they're in shambles.
Yeah. I don't think that record holds water, Barbosa, because Washington hasn't had a quarterback in 5 years, and I think Daniel's a quarterback.
That could be it.
So we'll see. I mean, they had Carson Wentz, they had Sam Howell, they disaster.
Yeah.
Now let's go to a game that I don't want to pick. The LA Chargers, who I really liked last week. I thought there was a big revenge game. I thought they were gonna come out and take it to the Raiders. It took them a while. But in the second half, they pulled away because of a dumb, and I mean one of the dumbest coaching decisions I've ever seen. Pierce 4th and 1 on the Chargers 42 punts, and on the very next play, J.K. Dobbins runs it down their throat for 70 yards, and the Chargers open up a 22-10 lead and win the game. They go to Carolina, who Barbosa is saying is the worst team in the league. So Barbosa, let's go to you. Who do you got?
The Chargers. If you think eating New Orleans laid on them is bad, wait until the Chargers. Jesus Christ. They're going to throw them a beating. I got the Chargers. That's not even a contest.
Jose.
What a joke.
It's a tough game, and the Chargers are a run team. They'll try and play defense. It's a hardball type of style of football. I'll take the Chargers in a close game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout.
Yo.
Yeah, I mean, looks like the Chargers, that at end of the third, fourth quarter got their stuff together. That Carolina is just bad. Yeah, I don't think the Chargers.
I actually, last week, I looked at week 2 schedule and thought I would take Carolina as an upset in this game. And then I watched Carolina play, and I'm like, they got no hope of beating a run-dominant team like the Chargers. So I've got the Chargers in this one.
I think they're worse this year than they were last year.
I mean, they look that bad. Like, Bryce Young, I mean, he's getting into the really bad bust category over there for number 1 picks. Like, he looks just lost on offense. Like, Did you guys think Bryce Young would be this bad?
No, not this bad.
Jose Gill, what was what did you guys think of Bryce Young? Is
I
it
was
like
I was never a fan of him.
Jose?
Hey, nothing special. Just he had a good team in Ohio State. That's all it was. He played for a good team.
Ohio
So
State quarterbacks, man, they're tough to take. CJ Stroud was drafted number 2 in that.
oh sorry, did he no, he went to Alabama. Didn't he go to Alabama? Bryce Young went to Alabama.
Yeah, Alabama.
Yeah.
CJ Stroud, yeah, sorry.
CJ Stroud.
So he had a solid team in Alabama, and
Right.
so it's anybody can play in that Alabama system with all the best wide receivers, all the best players every time. So
Now we go to a game that I was really looking forward to until about 10 seconds left in the Green Bay game last week. Indianapolis Colts, Barbosa's Colts, who, had 3 really amazing plays last week, and the rest of it was very bad. Go to Green Bay to take on poor Gill and his Packers with Malik Willis possibly starting. I'm going to start with Barbosa. I'm sure now you have no problem taking your Colts.
Now I have no problem taking the Colts.
Right.
I liked what I seen last week, especially their defense. I think except for the secondary, they left
Their secondary was brutal, Barbosa. Brutal.
Yeah. But
they could not stop a nosebleed. The running game, Joe Mixon ran all over your defense.
Yeah, but I like their defensive line. They're pretty good. But their secondary was a bit shaky, man, because they on the 3rd and long, especially in that play, 3rd and long.
Collins, man.
Collins all open. And that had CJ Stroud. The lineman had CJ Stroud. And then you leave Nico Collins all open. That's what won them the game.
Yeah.
But saying that, I will take the Colts. No Jordan Love. Sorry, Gil. Green Bay. I don't know.
Gil, I really feel bad for you because Malik Willis, I saw that guy play in Tennessee, and he's not a quarterback. Who do you got, Gil?
Well, they might have to even go to the next quarterback because when he went on that last quarter,
that was ugly.
It looks like he can't even walk. It looks like he's ready. But
you have no choice, Gil. What are you gonna do?
Well, I'm gonna play out the scenario here. The Packers are gonna go 0-3, maybe even 0-4, and then I'm gonna bet them to win the Super Bowl.
Smart.
So
that's a good bet.
I like that. So you have Indy, I assume then.
Yeah, I have to.
Yeah, you got no choice. I have
to be a realist. I see the Packers running the ball a lot. Indy's defense is pretty good at stopping the run.
That's the only thing that kind of scares me. If the Packers run the ball a lot, that might give us problems.
No, Gil, they should run the ball. Joe Mixon ran. You have Joe Mixon on your fantasy team. He went crazy on the Colts defense. Yeah, I know. He should run the ball all day.
Yeah, but that's Joe Mixon too.
Well, Jacobs can run.
Apparently, I was getting in shit because I picked him in the 1st round.
Yeah, well, how do you guys, boys that are watching this, who's laughing now? Look, Gil, give him a good smile, laugh.
Yeah.
That's
Take that. Take that.
Take that.
Jose, who do you got?
Listen, I'll take Green Bay with one-legged love over that stupid Indianapolis Colts.
Oh my God.
Okay? I don't supposedly he's been practicing and there's a chance that he can play. Even his coach said it today. So I'll take Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers. Josh Jacobs is going to run all over that defense. And then they're going to, even if Malik Willis can only just throw for freaking 5 yards and Reed runs that after the catch, bro, the Indies sucks. I don't even know why we even talk about that team. They're so shit. This guy's saying that they're a good defensive line when they got turned up by the Houston running, passing. What else do you need?
Don't worry.
What else do you need? What kind of good defensive line gets torn up by rushing and passing? A good defensive line doesn't happen. So I'm not worried. I can care less. I'm telling you. Green Bay with one-legged Jordan Love will beat your ass because your team is shit. So I'm taking the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau Field.
Packers.
Take it. Thank you.
Take the Green Bay Packers.
I'm going to take the Colts. I like what I saw from Anthony Richardson. Jonathan Taylor should have a really good day against Green Bay's run defense, which is not good at all. I'm sorry, Gil. Your run defense is brutal. So I think Indy's going to have a good day as a result. A lot of play action passes. Jose, who just picked up Alec Pierce, knows what's going to happen, even though he's picking Green Bay. Now let's get to
the hate. Drink some more haterade, buddy.
What haterade? What you guys are 0-1. You lost last week. So shut up. You even win against your team at home. Come on, please. Give me a break. Talk to me when you win a game. Talk to me when you win a game.
Points. Okay.
Talk to me when you win a game.
Let's get to our team, the San Francisco 49ers, who could not have looked any more impressive against the Jets. They made Aaron Rodgers look like the garbage quarterback he was in Green Bay as last season, and every bit as 41 as he is. Only threw to one part of the field and to two receivers the whole game. And Breece Hall was fumbling and scared to run against that front line. Fred Warner, in the first hit of the game, I knew the Jets were done because he ran over Hall, fumble, game done. 49ers hammered. Jose, it was not close. Like I told you, it wasn't going to be close because the Jets are shit. Okay, they go to Minnesota to take on our old backup, Sam Darnold. Sam, I hope you had fun beating up the G-men because you're going to get your ass handed to you by the 49ers. I got the 49ers and big. Jose.
I also got the 49ers, but the last times we've played in Minnesota, we've lost. So it's not a good place to play in there. But if they can establish the run game and keep it and just do the play actions, and run it down their throats, they'll be fine. I think Minnesota had a good game against the Giants, but the Giants are not that great. But I see San Fran winning this game, and I'm taking San Fran.
Tony, do you want to take a chance and take the Vikings?
No,
I didn't think so.
No, I'm gonna take the Niners. Too many weapons. That team has way too many weapons.
They were missing 7 starters and still crushed the Jets.
They have way too many weapons. Kyle Shanahan, he is a good offensive coordinator, no doubt about it.
I like what I saw from the defense too. It was good.
His scheme, but excuse me, his offensive schemes are pretty good, man. It's like Jesus Christ, who do you throw it to? Run the game, run the ball. So Niners and their defenses, that's their defense.
Yeah,
I didn't think the Jets looked that bad last week. I thought the Niners defense gave them problems 100%. What can I say?
Yeah.
It's going to be the Niners.
Gil, do you still have faith in Aaron Rodgers, and who's your pick?
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers will still do his thing. He just played a good Niner defense, right? For week one.
Aaron Rodgers didn't play bad. You guys, you're just a hater, pure hater. Listen, the guy played okay.
He was awful, Jose.
How was he awful? How was he awful?
He made 2 throws the whole game.
How was he awful? Tell me. How was he awful?
Yards
against the top defense like that?
That pick wasn't on him.
It was a deflection.
The pick
was a deflection. The fumble was a punch out from behind.
The problem was
that's not his fault.
The defense couldn't stop the run.
Exactly. Yeah. So, but Aaron Rodgers plays defense. Bro, you're just a hater, man. I don't understand.
Yeah, you telling me he was good in that game? Was Aaron Rodgers good in that game? He was not. He was not good in that game at all.
That drive that they scored their touchdown, their first touchdown. No, he wasn't good. He was throwing darts.
That was the only drive he was good the whole game.
Even the one to Lazard. That wasn't a nice throw.
The free play?
Get out of here.
Oh, yeah. He can do free plays. But when it's an actual real play, they were garbage when it was a real play.
They were garbage. Okay, whatever.
The Jets are garbage. Gil, make your pick, please.
Yeah, so, the Niners defense is just at another level. Minnesota played a bad Giants team. Sam Darnold's going to have a hard time here. He might get a couple of picks. He's going to have a hard time. Unless they can get Aaron Jones going, but I think he's going to get popped too. No, it's going to be San Fran.
What did you think of Aaron Rodgers in that game, Gil?
Well, I don't think he was totally bad. He wasn't himself. I think he needs to get hit. I think he's playing scared.
Really? Okay.
He's playing scared. I think he needs that first sack, like getting drilled just to get out of the way. I feel like he's on his tippy toes. He's releasing the ball too fast.
He can't move, Gil. He can't move.
Well, yeah, but I don't know. He didn't play horrible. Was it his best?
No, he wasn't horrible, but he was not good either.
But yeah, he played for last year either. Like he's been off the field for a long time.
Yes.
And then it's not great that you're gonna go play San Francisco's defense as your first time back, right?
I know.
So give the guy a break, let him regroup. He'll do his thing.
Okay, so before we get to the next game, we're gonna have to take a break. We'll be right back on the Reese Report with the rest of our picks and more goal to come. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back to the Reese Report. Took a little bit of with picks as my video was off again. Let's go to Cleveland, who was absolutely horrid last week because Deshaun Watson, who has the richest contract in the NFL and was part of the worst trade in NFL history, but there's a few of those. There's the Russell Wilson one and the Trey Lance one, so it's like a three-way tie. They go to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars, who continue to not impress anybody. They blew the game last week with a fumble in the end zone, thanks Etienne, and that set up the comeback for the Dolphins, who then threw a bomb to Tyreek Hill, which changed the game. I don't like either one of these teams, but because Jacksonville is at home, I'll take the Jags. Cleveland just has no offense, and no matter how good their defense is, they're not going to have enough offense to win. So I'm going to take the Jags. Jose.
Tough game. Jags actually played really good last week. If I was watching the game, they got to pressures on Tua. That fumble screwed up the game, or else would have been 24-7, and they would have won that game against Miami. In saying that, I'm gonna take them at home. I think they're a better balanced team than Cleveland. I don't think Cleveland's, if it isn't for Ford rushing the ball, I don't think Deshaun Watson. I don't think he wants. I don't think he's in his head's in the NFL. I think it's his off season and his all off field problems are getting to him, and all these lawsuits and stuff like that. I don't think he's completely there. So in saying that, I'm gonna take the Jags.
Yeah, he looks like a guy who doesn't want to be on the field right now. Honestly, Gil.
No, yeah, I agree. As much as I know Lawrence doesn't get it done, but this might be just field goals at the end of the day. This might be like a 12-9 ugly bowl. I'll take Jacksonville off the field goals until they don't figure out the Deshaun Watson situation. He's not the guy. They gotta figure something out. So I'm gonna take Jacksonville.
Yeah, guys, for those who listened to this show last week and heard my picks, listen carefully. This game's going under. There's not going to be any scoring in this game. It's going to be a lot of running, probably a lot of turnovers. Trevor Lawrence got shut out in the second half last week by a Miami defense that's not all world, and Cleveland's defense is really good. So expect an under in this game. Barbosa, who do you got?
It is an ugly game, but ugly games like that, defenses end up being the difference. And Cleveland has a better defense than Jacksonville. I think this is a game that Deshaun Watson can, I wouldn't say be great, but I think he could be good enough to beat the Jaguars. And their defense, like I said, they have a much better defense. And if it's a field goal game, I prefer the Browns. So I'm going to take the Browns.
Wow. Okay. Let's go to another ugly bowl. Gil, how'd you like your boy Geno Smith last week? Looked pretty good, eh? He goes to not bad, eh? I liked Geno last week, eh? They go to New England to take on the shocking Patriots, who found a way with ex-quarterback Jacoby Brissett winning in Cincinnati. They go home to play the Seabags this week. I'm going to start with Gil because, Geno's his boy. You got Geno Smith this week, Gil?
Yeah, I do. I'm going to go Geno Smith. The Patriots won that game. They caught the Bengals sleeping off guard.
Contract disputes and
they didn't, injuries.
Yeah.
So I think Seattle defense is not bad. It is in New England, but I think Geno Smith wins this one.
Barbosa.
Yeah, I like Seattle in this game. I agree with everything what Gil said. Their defense is better. I think their defense might even be better than Cincy's. So, in saying that, I will take Seattle.
Well, keep in mind, Seattle played Bo Nix in his rookie game, and Bo Nix did not look good, but Seattle's defense did look good. But I'm going to wait on how good Seattle's defense is. Jose, what do you got?
I'm gonna take Seattle just based on I think they're more offensive weapons. I think they'll throw the ball more this week. And yeah, so I'm taking Seattle.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about this game because Seattle, Kenneth Walker did not. He left the game early last week with an injury. Tyler Lockett's questionable. If Seattle's run game is not at full strength, that could be a concern. But I think Walker's going to play. I thought New England was going to be one of the worst teams in the league this year. I'm not going to change my mind because they played Cincinnati, who always starts slow. If Seattle wants to make the playoffs, they need to win this game. I'll take the Seabags. Now let's go to the ugly Jets, who, after getting their ass kicked by San Francisco, go to Tennessee to take on the Titans with, I mean, man, if Will Levis is not one of the worst quarterbacks in the league, then the only people that are keeping him from being the worst are Bryce Young and Daniel Jones, because he gave away that game last week with the turnovers. Like, the Bears were awful last week. They couldn't score any touchdowns. Their offense was brutal. Caleb was under 100 yards, under 40% passing. And yet, with a 17-7 lead, the Bears blocked a punt and returned a touchdown to win that game somehow and win me some money. So I'm happy about it. I'm only going to take the Jets because of how bad Tennessee was last week with Will Levis. Like, if Rodgers can't beat Tennessee, then I'm really done with the Jets. You better beat this team if you're going to be a serious team. So I'll take the Jets. Jose.
I'm gonna take the Jets as well. I think this week the Jets' first game back. Like I said, Rodgers is always, if he doesn't play preseason, he always loses his first games in the regular season, and then he ends up coming back second week and third week he would play well. Yeah, you say that he was horrible, but he wasn't horrible. It's his first game back in 2 years.
He
So
was average. He was average.
he played against a good 49ers defense. I don't think Tennessee has a good defense. And I believe that the Jets will run the ball and freaking throw the ball on all over Tennessee. I see the Jets winning this one.
So was last week's game more about how bad Caleb was and not Tennessee's defense, or was Tennessee's defense good?
Like, honestly, I just think it's first game rookie jitters. Like, it's not easy for a rookie to go from college to playing in the NFL. It's a different atmosphere. It's different players. The players that are in the NFL are 10 times better than the college. So it's going to take time for him to get used to the NFL. Tom Brady's, Peyton Manning's, all the big quarterbacks, first year they struggled. It's not, I don't have, there hasn't been one quarterback that's the first year that he was amazing
Well,
throughout the whole season.
CJ Stroud.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Last year, one in a freaking
It's rare,
million.
though. It is rare.
It's rare, right? So, but yeah, I just think that Caleb Williams, he's gonna develop. I don't think he's gonna be like a major name or he's gonna be putting up crazy stats, but he can do his thing. Like, as long as he doesn't, dude. All you want from a rookie quarterback, when you go to a team like the Bears, they already have everything there for you. All you need to do is just protect the football and not throw picks.
And
Because if you have a defense,
he didn't turn it over.
exactly. So as long as you have a defense that keeps you in the game and you can get your turnovers, that's part of football. But defenses can score points for you too. You don't need to be throwing for 400 yards. As long as you don't play safe and you don't lose the game by yourself, then it is what it is.
Okay. Gil, we'll get to the Bears later when we get to that game, but who do you like, Jets at Tennessee?
Yeah, I think the Jets wins the rebound game. Tennessee's defense is not even half of what San Fran's is. I think they have a good 1-2 punch. They'll run a bit with Hall and they'll throw it out to Garrett, Lazard in the middle for slants. I think the Jets are in good shape.
Any reason why Mike Williams didn't play at all last week? Does anyone know? Because he
He's
was
still
just on
injured.
this, and
He's
then
still injured. He's not.
Sauce Gardner was just standing on the sideline while the 49ers scored an 8 straight drive. So I don't know what was going on there.
Mike
Yeah.
Williams is still injured. He's not 100%. They even said that he was on a snap count and stuff like that. He was not going to play the whole game.
Well, he
And
only
Sauce
played 4
Gardner
snaps.
and Sauce Gardner, he got hurt on
Yeah.
the play or something. I think somebody stepped on his foot or he twisted his foot or something.
Yeah. I heard that
Okay.
too.
Barbosa, who do you got?
Jets. Jets.
The Jets have to win this game. They can't go 0-2 like that.
Aaron Rodgers throwing 3 touchdown passes, 300 yards.
No, I think it's going to be the Brees Hall show. I don't think it's going to be a Rodgers 300-yard game. Yeah.
You're going to see.
Yeah. I mean, Tennessee has to get some credit for what they did to Caleb last week.
And the Titans look horrible.
Well, offensively, they look horrible, yes.
Jose, good pick. Second place in the division.
No, I had him third place. Jacksonville second. Don't worry.
Oh, okay. No, okay.
But from where I see, you're still in last place. So don't even talk.
Hey. Only winning team in that division is the Texans. Everybody's just 1-1.
Okay. And you're going to be 0-2 this week with the one-legged love.
Yeah. We'll see.
All right, to the game of the week, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who, I mean, yes, they played a horrible Washington defense, but Baker Mayfield looked great last week, throwing to Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. They have a 1-2 punch in White and Bucky Irvin. They look great against a really bad team with a bad defense. They go to Detroit to take on the Lions, who got a real scare from an injured Rams team with missing offensive linemen. With Puka Nacua leaving the game in the second half, and just it became the Cooper Kupp show, and they came back to tie it with Detroit getting the coin toss and winning it. So Detroit, little shaky there. Jameson Williams had a huge game, which compensated for St. Brown owners not having a good week. I'm going to start off this one, and this is my first upset of the week. I got the Bucks. I think that the Bucks could have won last year in Detroit in the playoffs, if not for a couple of drop balls and some mistakes. I think Tampa Bay can win this game. I picked them to win the division, and I think they can upset Detroit because Detroit looks a little shaky early on the season. So I'll take Tampa Bay. The Rams could have won that game last week if they got the coin toss. So I'll take Tampa Bay. Jose.
I'm going to take Detroit. I think Detroit at home, they got driven. There was a couple of drives down that the Rams did pretty well, but then the Detroit did shut them down defensively too. I think this game, Mont St. Brown is gonna come out and play a good game. Gibbs is probably gonna get more snaps because he was injured from last week too. So if he's more healthy, he'll get more snaps, and he's good. I just think Tampa Bay, they bet up on a weak defensive team last week in Washington, and don't get me wrong, they have the Evans and stuff like that, but I just think Detroit will shut them down. So I'm taking Detroit at home.
Yo, who do you got?
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one. It's a tough one. I don't even know the pick, but I'm gonna go with. I gotta go to Lions.
Barbosa.
I'm gonna go with the Lions. I don't think Mayfield was pressured last week. As soon as he gets a little bit of pressure, he's gonna throw 1 or 2 picks. And the Detroit Lions defensive line can go after quarterbacks. So for that reason, I just think the Lion defense will make it difficult on Baker this weekend.
Yeah, I think the Lions' run defense is good and their front seven is good, but I think their secondary has some weak spots. So if Mayfield does get time, you saw Stafford last week. When he had time, he carved him up. So we'll see. We'll see.
They get to him because Washington's defense.
They're garbage.
It's gonna make it difficult for Baker. So
trust me, Washington's defense is garbage. I know.
Yeah.
I saw the Rams last week and I said, you know what? Tampa could beat that team. We'll see. I could be wrong, but I think it's a good upset. Now let's go to a game that I don't like this game. The LA Rams, who almost beat Detroit last week, go to Arizona, who almost beat the Bills last week. Tough game. Rams without Puka Nacua. Let's start with Barbosa. You love your Cardinals. Let's start with you. What do you got?
I'm gonna pick the Cardinals just because I did have them making the playoffs. So I gotta make my pick sound good. So I'm gonna take the Cardinals, and plus they're at home.
Gil?
I think Stratford pulls this off with Cup, last minute drive, and wins the game. I'm going to take the Rams.
Jose.
I'm also going to take the Rams. I think last week they showed that they're defensively they can play. I was surprised that they kept themselves in the game against the Detroit Lions. The offensively they can throw the ball. Stafford and Cup look like back to the own when Cup won the Triple Crown. So I'm gonna take the Rams in this one. I just think Arizona's defense is weak as well, and I see them passing the ball all over them.
Yeah, I am also taking the Rams because Arizona's defense is just like they should have won that game last week and the defense gave it up. And I think that when you're playing a Rams team that can throw it all over the field, I think you're gonna have a really tough time beating them, even without Puka. And I think Kyron Williams is gonna have a field day against that run defense. Like their run defense was like second last in the league last year. So I think actually you're gonna see more Kyron Williams this week than you will seeing Stafford throwing the ball, and then you're going to see play action to Cup all day. I like the Rams to beat the Cardinals, and sorry, Barbosa, no playoffs for you. Now let's go to a game that I thought was going to be a great revenge game, but will no longer be a revenge game because Russell Wilson is out. And like I said last week, had I known Fields was going to start, I would have took Pittsburgh. But I thought Wilson was starting, took Atlanta. That won't happen again. This week, Pittsburgh goes to Denver. With Fields starting again against Bo Nix. J.J. Watt, apologies to Nick Bosa, who I love, and to Micah Parsons. J.J. Watt's the best defensive player in the league.
TJ Watt.
Sorry, T.J. Watt. T.J. Watt, his brother's J.J. T.J. Watt's the best defensive player in the league. That guy changes games with the way he plays. That game was won by T.J. Watt last week. Like Cousins had no time. There's nothing he could do. TJ Watt, every time they had tried to throw the ball, he was all over him. I also like Myles Garrett, but I think TJ Watt's on a different level because of the way he impacts games. Having said that, Bo Nix is not going to have a lot of fun in this game. And Gil, I hope he doesn't get hurt, but boy, oh boy, if he's standing in the pocket too long like he was against Seattle, he's going to get hurt. I got Pittsburgh in this one. Gil, who do you got?
Well, Pittsburgh won off of field goals.
Boswell.
He kicked like 6 field goals or something like that, or 5.
Yeah. 6 field goals. Yep.
And the defense held in. I'm going to say Bo Nix pulls this one off.
Wow. Okay. Wow, Denver.
He's at home. I think he played well in the last quarter. I feel like he kind of got the feel of the game, and I think that's what he needed. And that's why I took Seattle last week because I knew that was going to kind of happen. I'm gonna, Denver's D is not bad. It's not a bad defense. Steelers defense is vicious, but I think they're gonna do it. I think that I just have this in Denver, the oxygen. Pittsburgh can't breathe. They're gonna need the oxygen tanks. There's gonna be white horses flying around with fans and stuff. So I think it's gonna happen. It's gonna be a Bo Magic. And that's for you, Chris.
Bo Magic, eh? Denver's defense I don't know. I didn't think their defense was that good, but hey, they did okay. Barbosa, what do you got?
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go the Broncos too. I think the Broncos will pull it off. Justin Fields, he's not. He's nothing special. I didn't see nothing special, especially against Atlanta. Kirk Cousins gave away that game. If it wasn't for those turnovers, they would have lost. I think the Broncos defense is not that bad. I agree with Gil, and I think Bo Nix will you'll slowly start to figure it out. So yeah, I'm gonna take the Broncos.
Jose?
Pittsburgh. I
Yeah.
think their defense will win them their game, and it's going to be even if they just have to kick field goals. I think they'll win this game.
Yeah. Last year, Fields played Denver and had the best game of his season, even though they lost the game in I believe they came back to beat Denver in that game. They were down, and Fields had a 300-yard game, so I think he'll be just fine against the Denver defense. To a game that I thought would be the game of the week, but after watching the Bengals last week, I'm not even gonna waste time on this. They go to Kansas City. I got the Chiefs. Guys,
Chiefs.
Barbosa, I know you got the Chiefs. Jose?
I'm taking Cincy. This is my upset pick of the week.
Wow.
If they're healthy, I think they're the kryptonite to fucking Patrick Mahomes. They bet him in the playoffs. They beat him in sometimes they bet him already in the regular season. I think Cincinnati matches up well with KC. So I'm taking Cincy in an upset this week.
Barbosa, you picked Oro to be MVP, correct? So maybe I should ask you who you have in this game, just in
Yeah, I
case
did pick Burrow MVP, but I'm gonna take KC. They're wow, they're loaded on offense. Their weapons are, my God.
Yeah.
Their defense is improved from last year. That's saying a lot because their defense wasn't that bad last year, and their defense has been improved this year.
I mean, Baltimore had success last week with Likely, and I think they missed Jadarius Sneed a little bit. So I'm still iffy on the KC defense being better.
Yeah, but it's Baltimore.
We'll
it's
find
not.
out.
Listen, yeah, it's Baltimore,
Mhm.
right? You know, it's
I think T. Higgins is a big loss.
threat.
Like
it's always a threat with Lamar. It's always a threat. Lamar ran for 15 yards, 120 yards.
Yeah. They did stop Henry though.
Sorry?
They did stop Henry.
Yeah. But I thought and their weapons, that wide receiver, that rookie wide receiver,
Worthy and Rice are pretty
bad.
deadly.
And that's got to be another Tyreek. That's like when their offense was clicking. So I'm gonna take KC. I don't see the Bengals matching up offense for offense in this game.
Since these slow starts are just they're becoming the norm. So they'll shock us at some point, but it won't be this week, I don't think. Now let's go to the Chicago Bears, who were absolutely awful last week offensively. But as Jose correctly predicted, and me as well, the Bears defense came to play and just absolutely took over that game and won it for the Bears. They go to Houston to take on my Super Bowl pick, the Texans. I don't like the Bears' chances in this game. Yes, their defense is good. It should keep the game lower scoring. But if the Bears can't score on Houston, they're not outscoring CJ Stroud, even with that good defense. I do think it'll be lower scoring. I think it'll be more challenging for Houston to score. But they've got a 1-2 punch now. They had no running game last year, and now they have Mixon. So, the Bears are going to have to choose what they're going to stop. And I don't know if they can stop everything. And if Caleb doesn't show up, they're not winning. So I got Houston. Gil, who do you got?
Also got Houston. They're not matching points per points here. And it's in Houston. Bears are more of a home team. They need the crowd behind them to give them a push. This one's in Houston. Another day for stakes.
Jose?
Houston should win this game. The only way that Bears have a chance is if their defense steals them a couple of points here and there, but I don't see that happening. I see Houston with that defense getting all over Caleb Williams and welcoming him to the NFL. So I'm taking Houston.
I don't see Stroud doing what Will Levis did last week. Barbosa, what do you got?
No, I got Houston. They're when they figure out what to do with Stefon Diggs, because I don't think they really know what to do with Stefon Diggs, but when they figure out what to really do with Stefon Diggs in that offense and with Joe Mixon, oh my God. Yeah. Reese, you say it's going to be a close game. I don't think so.
I just think the Bears defense will keep it close. We'll see.
No. Because the Bears, Caleb Williams will turn the ball over. This is a game he's going to turn the ball over. Their defense, the Houston's defense is not bad. Their secondary, man, because Richardson threw a couple of deep balls and their secondary got exposed a little bit. but other than that, they're a pretty good defense. So I'm gonna take the Texans, and it's gonna be a
Yeah.
beating.
I'm actually going to say this. I think Caleb's actually going to play better this week. Because if he uses his arm and he's not as nervous as he was last week at home, I actually think Caleb's going to play better in this game. But they're still going to lose. But I think Caleb's going to look a lot better. Now let's get to the Monday nighter. Again, I'm not wasting any time on this game other than to tell you that I was 100% right about Kirk Cousins. A
Bullseye.
fumble, 2 interceptions. Yeah, Gil, you too. 2 interceptions, scared in the pocket, ruined by J.J. Watt, beat by 6 field goals. Atlanta looked exactly the same with him at quarterback, struggling to score. Bijan and Drake London looking around, wondering where the ball is going to come. The guy who had the highest amount of targets in the game was ex-49er Ray McLeod. That's all. There's nothing else to say. The Eagles are winning this game. Barbosa or Jose, who wants to go first? The Olympic Cousins. Let's go to Jose.
Yeah, he played shit last week, but then again, he's coming off an injury too. Like you can't. I'm not defending him. I don't care 3 fucks about Kirk Cousins. I'm just saying he's coming off an injury. His first game playing against a good Pittsburgh Steelers defense too. They're not that bad. Yeah, they got pressure to him. He fumbled the ball. He threw a couple interceptions. But no, I don't see them winning in Philly either. I just think Philly has now with Saquon Barkley, they're going to be a running team. That's a dangerous weapon that they added to their offense. I think Atlanta, well, their defense is the only chance that they'll keep them in the game. They kept the Steelers off no touchdowns last week, and they were in their zone most of the times when the turnovers happen and stuff like that. So if and it's primetime game and Kirk Cousins always loses.
Exactly.
So I'm taking Philly.
That's a great point Jose just made. Gil, I know who Gil's taking, but
I'm not gonna say this anymore. Just pack him a Philly cheesesteak and tell him to go home.
like Gil, like as bad as I think he is, he might have looked worse last week.
I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking. They drafted Phoenix. They went to sign this guy. They got him 100 million guaranteed. What a waste of money. I don't know what they were thinking, but what a waste of money. It doesn't take a genius to see that was a bad signing, but
Yeah. Now, the last time Kirk Cousins played in prime time at Philadelphia, he threw 3 picks in the red zone in a loss. Barbosa. Who do you got, Barbosa, Mr. Cousins fan? You gonna take Atlanta in this game?
And I just thought the Falcons needed a quarterback, and quarterback.
Do they have one? Do they have one?
It's
Didn't look like it last week, Barbosa.
TBD to be determined.
TBD. All right. The only thing that Cousins has going for him this week is Philadelphia's defense is awful. So that's the only thing he's got going for him. But it's prime time, which means he's in trouble.
Like Jose said, it's prime time. Kirk Cousins doesn't play well in prime time games, and Saquon Barkley, my God, Giants kind of flubbered out, and
oh man,
instead of giving the money to Daniel Jones, they should have given the money to Saquon Barkley because my God, he looks phenomenal in that offense. Jesus,
all-time blunders, man. That's got to be an all-timer to give. Yeah,
there's no way the Falcons will be able to stop him. You can run the ball, you can catch the ball because he made a couple of nice catches, and one, especially the one for the touchdown. What a nice catch.
Yeah.
He's pretty much what McCaffrey was when he got traded to the 49ers. That's what the 49ers were missing, a running back like that. And that's what Philly was missing. And I told you guys in the beginning of the year, watch out. That's going to be like the scariest pickup is going to be Saquon Barkley. That's why I picked the Eagles to win the division.
Yeah. Well, the one thing I would be concerned about is 2 more turnovers for Hurts. I think that he's
got to cut down on his turnovers.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like the Saquon Barkley is going to be a safety blanket, guaranteed. I think now that they're going to be, the more the weeks go by, they're going to find their game together, and I think Jalen Hurts will cut down on his turnovers, just because you'll have Saquon Barkley there. But that's a good pickup. That's a great pickup, I should say. Not a good pickup, a great pickup. And the Giants are kicking themselves.
All right, well, those are our picks for this week. Shout out to the guys that we're talking to during the games and who had the great barbecue. And my God, I might have to go to that next time. My God, they had food coming out of everywhere, beers and drinks. I'm like, man, I missed out. So shout out to you guys. I hope you watched to the end. Great fantasy shit talking. Gil, congratulations. You got me at the end of the week there. Jose, I threw you a beating. I don't know what happened to your team last week. I wasn't expecting a beating like that. Barbosa, you need to get into fantasy at some point.
No.
So we can play along with you. But hopefully your Colts get a win for you this week because, my God, if they find a way to lose to Malik Willis, you might want to skip the show next week because Jose may never leave you alone.
It's okay.
I think they'll win, though. We'll see what happens.
No,
All right. What?
we have the same amount of Super Bowls as you guys from the last, 10, 15 years?
When did the Colts win the Super Bowl?
Well, last time was Manning, was it?
Listen, you talk about the past. When's the last time you made the playoffs?
It doesn't matter. We have
Okay, no, it doesn't matter. I mean, shut up, man. Shut up. You won one Super Bowl. You won one Super Bowl, and you think you're good. But talk to me when you win 5 or even past 2. Shut up, Barbosa, please.
Hey, Gil, how many
Talk to me
Super
when you
Bowls
make the
got?
playoffs.
You got 5, right?
We have the same amount of Super Bowls in the last 20 years.
So we
Okay.
have 5 each. Our teams have 5, Barbosa, which is more than your team.
Enjoy watching the Niners in the Super Bowl. Never mind.
That's right.
Man, be
That's
quiet,
right.
man. You know what you should do? You should go golfing with your stupid coach. Never mind. Teach Jonathan Love how to play golf. Never mind.
No problem.
Barbosa, please.
Anytime. I'll teach you too.
Don't even talk about the Colts and the Niners in the conversation right now. You guys are shit compared to the Niners. Period. If the Niners were to play the Colts right now, you would get romped by fucking 30 points. Don't even talk.
30 points. Okay.
No.
Calm down, eh? Just calm down.
No.
God, I gotta check now. Do we play the Colts this year? I want.
No, they don't play. Now. They're lucky they don't play the Colts this year. They would catch a beating. They would catch a pajama.
Yes. All right, that's our show for this week. For the month of North Angeles. That's Jose Carlos Gomez who brought the fire today. Gil always giving us some good comedy. Gil, me and you got it on Cousins, man. There's no question. And Tony Barbosa, who might be right about Tommy DeVito. I mean, if it might happen after this.
No, I don't think they'll play Tommy DeVito. They're gonna go with what's his face, Tyrod Taylor.
Oh, that's right. They still have Tyrod Taylor. Oh, okay.
No, Tyrod Taylor's in the Jets. You dumbass.
That's right.
He's in the Jets.
So Tommy DeVito, man. That's it.
No, they have another backup.
We'll check later.
Who gives a shit? They're shit, just like your Colts.
Exactly.
Now end the show because I'm already sick and tired of hearing this guy.
Giants to the Colts, bro. Come on.
We'll see you next week on the Reese Report and hit my music.